Conceive, believe, achieve.
This is former UFC middleweight champion of the world, Michael Bisping.
Paddy the Baddy here. You're listening to Combat Sports UK.
And you're watching Combat Sports UK.
Hello, my name's Ben Thomas and you're watching Combat Sports UK. Today, I'm joined by Liverpool's own Liam McCracken, who collides with Asaël Adjoudj at Bellator Dublin. First of all, the most important question of the day, how are you doing? How's life treating you at the moment?
It's good, you know. Got a crazy life at the minute. Got a little girl. Big fight coming up on Bellator. So, yeah, life's mad, but I wouldn't have it any other way. Yeah, it's good.
I mean, we were literally just talking about this before I clicked record. You're 21 years old. You got a child, a brand newborn child, and you're fighting at Bellator Dublin. How do you do it?
Yeah, I'm just about keeping myself together. But I'm used to a bit of a mad life. I love it. Live life in the fast lane, you know. Keeps me busy.
No other way. But as I mentioned earlier, you are fighting on Bellator 291, which takes place in Dublin, Ireland. How are you feeling ahead of this bout? Because this is a big opportunity to make one hell of a statement.
Mad excited. This is, like you just said yourself, it's such a big opportunity, especially at my age. I've been dreaming a night like this since I was a kid. So to have a chance to be going out there on a show that everyone knows Bellator, even my family members that don't have a clue about fighting. When they say oh, what show are you fighting on? Usually they don't know. But when I'm oh, Bellator, even me nan obviously doesn't keep up with the fighting, but I was she's oh, I've seen that on BBC. So it's good. It's a massive opportunity. I can't wait.
That's quite mad. Will the family be in attendance, or are they going to be watching it on iPlayer?
You know what? There's loads coming over. You know, I've got a boss firm coming over. I always take a good crowd to me fight, but I was thinking with it being in Dublin, at first I was I don't think I'll take. But to be honest, there's loads coming over, and some of my mates are fighting in Liverpool the same night as well. But so I was thinking most of them will be going to that. It's easier, obviously, but they're coming for the trip. It's going to be exciting. There's at least 50 coming, so it's going to be good.
That's going to be one hell of a class weekend. But are you slightly nervous? Because you are only 21 years of age and you're fighting at the notorious 3 Arena, which can hold 8,000 people. Are you nervous, or is it just another day as a professional mixed martial artist?
I'm always nervous if I'm fighting. I want to I'll be honest with you. I'm not gonna lie about it. I could be fighting in a sports hall and I'll be nervous. It's not all the outside stuff doesn't matter. It's nice, you know what I mean? It's a nice addition to be fighting somewhere like that, but I'd be just as nervous if I was fighting in a sports centre as I would. It's the fight that makes me worry, and it's not about the opponent, it's about myself. I'm my own worst critic. So I'm just scared of not being happy with my own performance. But I'm a competitor. I always show up and I always get the job done. So but yeah, there is nerves, there always is, but I love that. It makes me feel alive, you know what I mean? I always rise to it, so I'm ready to go.
Before we get into your opponent, let's talk about your last bout at the phenomenal FCC MMA. It was done in just one via a beautiful rear naked choke. Talk to me about the moment the ref stopped the contest and you knew that your undefeated record was still intact.
Yeah, that whole week was just madness. I had my opponent who I was meant to be fighting, an Italian guy. I had a nightmare getting a fight in the first place, and I was fighting an Italian dude, and he messaged me on the Thursday, which happened to me the same as my last fight as well. The one before that, I had the opponent pull out on the Thursday. Then it happened again. I checked my phone. I was oh, no. So I just had there was stress on, and opponents ended up getting probably a better opponent to step in and take the fight anyway. Harry Shaw, so respect to him. He was a solid opponent, and he was ready as well. He was training for the fight himself. So it ended up working out better than I expected. But when it was done, it was after the week I had, it was a nice relief, and I put on a good performance as well. So I was happy that I could block all that out, get in there and still get the job done at a high level, which I did do.
Does that result make it feel even more sweeter knowing that you have multiple opponent changes and you had to adapt to a different fight style come fight night?
Yeah, definitely. It's all just experience in the bag, experience in those stressful situations so early on. It just makes you more ready for it as I get older and further into my career. So yeah, I'm glad it worked out the way it did. Everything happened for a reason. So yeah.
I mean, you're only a few years into a very successful career, I can tell, and you're going to have plenty of that. So it's good to get that over the way now before you get into the higher levels.
Yeah, no, it's going to happen at the higher levels as well. It's just part of the business, but yeah.
Yeah. I mean, before the stoppage, you dropped in with the most beautiful overhand right. And like you said on Instagram, practice makes perfect. Was that a shot you knew would land in the bout? Or was there an opening just in the fight?
To be honest, I've done a lot more work on my hands lately. I think it was just towards the start of this year, I started working with my boxing coach, Joe Tonks. My hands have come on like scary levels. If I got to spar just boxing with myself, do you know what I mean? If I could spar myself from the start of this year, I'd absolutely light them up. Like my hands are coming on week in, week out. That was probably not my biggest hole, but people probably do still think I'm a fighter. I think I've seen an interview of the kid I'm fighting, and I think he does think I'm a grappler, which is fine. It's good for me. But like me striking's 100% catching up. It's on par now with it, if not better than me grappling. So people need to start worrying about that. But as for that shot, like we drill that like it's like a chopping right hand. We drill that over and over again. So yeah, there's something I do practice a lot.
It must have felt absolutely special when there's a shot that you've been drilling over and over actually lands and drops the opponent. Were you kind of disappointed that it wasn't a KO finish?
Yeah, it would have been nice. Like I've still not got like a clean knockout on my record, but it's coming.
It's coming. But like we
It is.
mentioned earlier, still undefeated, 3-0. And after your win at FCC MMA, did you think your next fight would be in Dublin and under the Bellator banner? Like when you left the cage at FCC MMA, did you think you'd be fighting at Bellator Dublin?
I'd heard about the fight, to be honest, but at the same time, like I did feel a bit surreal because I had that fight still. That it was like a few days before it. I heard, so I was like, oh, that'd be some experience. That, but I didn't think it had actually come through. Then, like, literally the following week after that fight, it all started getting confirmed. Remember, like, the first time I got the email and I was looking, and it just said Bellator MMA at the top. I was like, this is sick. So it's exciting. Like, I'm made up with it.
Well, it's going to be one hell of an occasion, especially with all your family coming over. But let's now discuss your opponent. You are taking on Asaël Adjoudj, who is 4-1 as a pro with 3 finishes and has fought for Bellator before. What have you seen of your opponent, and what do you expect him to bring come fight night?
Yeah, I always like to be quite honest about my opponents. Like if I look at them and think they're not up to much, I'll tell you. But this guy, he's dangerous. He's a serious striker. He's been grappling at one of the best gyms in Europe now for a good few years as well. So I'm expecting like a complete fighter. I know how good his striking is. Not seeing too much of him grappling, but I'm expecting it to be up to par. Definitely not onto my level, but he's going to be a complete fighter. His last fight, he's coming off a big knockout. So he's going to be confident, same as me. My confidence is through the roof at the minute. I'm sure his is. He's lost his first pro fight, and he's on a 4-fight win streak. So this is a serious fight. He's only young himself as well. He's not as young as me, but this is like 2 big prospects going at it. Like, I maybe not. It's not one of the biggest fights on the card now, but in a few years' time, I think people will look back and be like, "Oh, fucking them 2 fought on that." That's, you know what I mean. But same as always, he's just another body. Come to finish him.
How do you see the bout going? Have you got any official predictions, or are you not one to make a prediction normally?
I don't really like game plan for fights and overthink certain scenarios. Like I just trust my like reactions, my fighting abilities, my skill set, even just things like my chin. I just trust in myself that when I get in there on the night, my body will respond how it should, and I'm gonna get the finish, especially in these 15-minute fights with the 5-minute rounds now. It's enough time for me to be getting that finish now. So come out patient, same as I always do, and just figure them out and finish them.
Like you said a moment ago, it may not be the biggest fight of the night, but you are the second fight of the night, which means you'll have time to potentially stick around and watch some of the fights. Is that something you'll be doing, or if you get the win, you're going to be straight into the town?
No, I don't think no more. Back in the day, it would have been like a few years ago. Defo would have been straight out after it. But yeah, Defo, I've seen clips of Bellator Dublin. I know a few people that have been. The atmosphere looks unbelievable, so I'm looking forward to after my fight, get back, chill, watch a few fights. I'm all grown up now, so no begging for me after it.
Which fights are you most looking forward to?
Do you know what? I haven't even looked at the card too much, to be honest. I know Peter Quealy, is it? That's how you say his name. I've seen his walkout's like the main clip I've seen, so I'm the thing I'm most excited for to see his walkout. It's going to be sick. There's a lad, Kier Harvey, as well, who I've trained with before. Yep. From higher level, I'll go down and do bits there, so I'm looking forward to seeing him fight. Hopefully he smashes it as well. So yeah, it's going to be a good night, but definitely I'll be sticking around to watch some of the fights.
There we are. I'm interviewing Kier next week, so I'll pass on your message of good luck to him. Speak to him. But if and when you get your hand raised in front of that crazy Irish crowd, when can we potentially see you back in there? And do you think it'll be under the Bellator banner, or are you looking to go somewhere else potentially?
I've not even looked into it yet, to be honest. I am only on a one fight deal, which I like, to be honest. I don't want to be getting like tied down to anything just yet. So I was made up when they said it's just one fight. I know the kid I'm fighting's on like a multi-fight deal, like a development deal. So I'm not stupid. I know they're bringing me in here hoping that he just gets to put me on his highlight reel, but I'm not letting that happen. There's no way. But as for the future, we'll see how it goes. I'm going out there expecting to get a nice finish. And then, yeah, just keep on climbing the ranks onto bigger and better things. But we'll see what happens. As for like more fights with Bellator and that, I'm not too sure. We'll see how it goes. I'm sure after the performance I put on, they're going to want to sign me. But I'm sure there's going to be lots of other people that do as well. So we'll see.
It's going to be one hell of a bout. But let's now move over to your training camp.
Yeah.
You fight out of Aspire Combat Sports Academy. Just how important are those guys to you as a fighter and also as a youngster just trying to get through life?
Yeah, I owe everything to like Phil and Dean and the people around me, all my training partners, the likes of Marlon I've been with since I was a kid. Me and him have like, we brought each other on so much when we were kids. We used to like be dead competitive with each other. We still are now. So people like that, obviously my main training partners like Dunny, people like that, I owe a lot to them. And like I said, especially my coaches, I've been with them now since I was about 13, 14. So it's a long time. So they've watched me like become a man really. So yeah, it's exciting. But Phil and Dean are going to be coming over. All my mates are going to be coming over. I'm like the first one out of like most of all my mates are fighters. Just for like lads my age from the gym, we all fight. I'm like the first one out of them to like break through onto a big show. So it's massive. All my mates are buzzing for it. So yeah, it's good. But yeah, I owe everything to Phil, Dean, everyone in the gym.
Honestly, just saying that your family's going over there, your friends are going over there. I wish I was going over there. Honestly, that
I have to get over there.
Mate, you're getting me
Everyone's
excited.
fucking coming.
I wish I was over there. I'm absolutely heartbroken. I'm not. That would be amazing. But there's one person I do want to touch upon that has fought out of your camp before, and that is the UFC's one of the fastest rising prospects in the UFC, and that's Mohammed Mukayev. He fights at UFC 286 in London in just a month's time. How do you see that fight playing out, and just how talented is he?
Yeah, Mo's a beast. I think the main thing about Mo is how hard he works. I'm lucky to get to like, I've seen how like someone he's top 15 now, I think he is, isn't he? So it's good. I know like how hard I've got to work if I want to be able to get there, and I match that now. I'm always like the first in, last out. Other people like Joe Ryan as well, like just getting to see people like Joe and Mo, people at like the top of their game. Joe's a Thai boxer. He's only young, but he's an animal. Getting to see people who are like at the top of what they're doing and just see how hard they work. That's all it is. That's what sets them apart. You know, they're human, the same as everyone else, but it's just how much you're willing to put in to get it back. But I'm expecting Mo to get another win and keep climbing to the top till he gets the belt.
How do you expect that fight going at UFC 286?
You know, I don't even know I don't know who his opponent is. I'm not seeing too much of him, but yes, Mo's not lost the fight yet, has he? So I can't see this being too different. Like,
I love that. I love that. But we've discussed your past and your upcoming fight. But I'd like to ask you some questions that certainly interest me. And the next one is something I ask every single fighter that I interview because it's just fascinating to me. What is one thing that mixed martial arts has taught you? Maybe just as a person yourself, maybe not as even as a fighter, whether that's discipline, anything. What has it taught you? I should have.
I don't know, you know, because I started when I was so young. It's hard to like even. I forgot like what I was like as a person before I started doing this. I think I was like 10, so I can't even remember. When I've probably been punched in the head that many times. I only remember when I was about. I can barely remember last week. So I honestly can't remember what I was like before the sport. So it's hard to say how it's changed me. You know what I mean? Like I've my whole life's been a fight camp since I was about 10 years old. So yeah, honestly, I don't know. Like this has been my life since I was a kid. Obviously, like you said, discipline is one of the main things. But I was an alright kid anyway before it, so I think I really need discipline. But yeah, I don't know.
I absolutely love that quote a minute ago. My whole life has been a fight camp. That is going on my Instagram. That's promotion for this interview. I swear to God, that's one of the best quotes I've heard for a long time. But you're only 21. You're 3-0.
Yeah.
You're about to fight in Bellator. Where do you see yourself in the next 5, 10, 15 years?
The way I'm going now, like really, I am starting to get like faith in my skill set. Like I said before, and like I really do believe in myself now. In the next 5 years, I'll 100% be in the UFC. I think I could have a title in the next 5 years as well. Definitely, like I said, I like to do everything quick. Got a kid and everything already, so I like to live life fast. So once I get into the UFC, I'm planning on being busy, taking people out, and then in the next 10 years, hopefully retired, living in IP for something nice. But I've been doing this since I was so young, so get it all in whilst I'm young and healthy, and then fuck off to somewhere nice into the sunset somewhere. But we'll see.
Would you say that's the ultimate goal, to be under the UFC banner and having a belt over that shoulder and over that shoulder as well?
Yeah, it's a hard one because there is other options now outside of the UFC, and now I've got a family. Like me, as soon as the day my little girl was born, my main goal changed. It's not about me no more. Like everything I do is for her now. So obviously, my number one priority is to provide for her. That's why it's nice fighting on Bellator. I'm getting, when I seen how much money I was getting. Obviously, it's for some people it's nothing, but to what I'm used to getting paid, I seen the contract and I was like, yeah, nice that. So I need to obviously provide for my family, don't I? So whatever's like PFL, Bellator, UFC is like the one I would really, really want the most. But at the same time, you got to do what's right for you. But hopefully things work out the right way, the way I've planned this since I was a kid. And I will be the UFC champion. I know I've got the skills to do it. I know I've got the work ethic. So I do think that's where it is going to go, yeah.
And finally, for those out there listening now who maybe haven't seen you fight before, what should they expect when you step into the cage next month at Bellator 291?
Just a seriously skilled fighter. I'm one of very few people, even in the UFC. I can see some people. I'm a specialist everywhere. I can fight on my feet. I can wrestle. I can fight on the ground. I've got a brown belt, and I can put it all together. And I'm fit as well. I can keep a good pace up. I am a specialist everywhere, and people might think, oh, he's a cocky bastard, but I've worked hard to get my skill set, so I'm looking forward to going out there and showing it. And like having such a good opponent and a good fight, good stage. This gets me excited. I'm getting excited now speaking about it. So ready to rise to the occasion. Fucking do it.
You're getting me excited. I'm not even fighting. I'm not even going to that. Hey, I'm absolutely after this fight. Honestly, it's gonna be one hell of a card. And honestly, there we have it. Though. Thank you very much for joining me today, Liam. On behalf of all of us at Sports UK, we wish you all the best of luck for the fight.
Thank you very much.